Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. Right now, Bitcoin is just unstoppable train as it, surges towards its previous high. And those that took advantage of the dip and continues the DCA will benefit, will profit. For example, Sailor and Strategy. Now there's talks about when Strategy will become a $1 trillion company, like Microsoft and Apple and Google and Meta, like these guys, right? So if you just calculate how much Bitcoin, Sailor has, basically when Bitcoin is above $1 million, he's pretty much there. So maybe not this cycle, but we know it's going to come maybe next cycle, maybe even before that. We don't know, but the key is DCA. Even at a billionaire's level, you still DCA. Because if you want to be a trillionaire as a billionaire, you DCA, right? And if you want to be a billionaire as a millionaire, you DCA. And if you want to be a billionaire as a thousandaire, you want to DCA, right? That's the point of DCA, especially when it comes to Bitcoin, because it multiplies your wealth. Yep, that's why everyone else is following. MetaPlanet is following as well. They're raising more funds. I cover this company, this new company, thumbs up. Never heard of them, but they're raising $200 million to buy Bitcoin. When we go upwards, right, we tend to liquidate a lot of shorts. We tend to cause a lot of short squeezes. And I covered this last night. So how much money will short sellers lose if we rocket up to our previous high and break through it? Well, according to this, over $1.5 billion. That's a lot. And you know what? It may happen. So if you look at this is the latest update, the liquidation heat map. So the levels we want to break is right up here. You can see they're heavy levels around 104.6, 104.7. And then it goes up like right around here, 106. And then you get a little bit more up to like 108. And then it clears up around 110. So basically you got a lot of levels to clear, right? That's why this is like 110. But once you get through, you punch through all these and you get like more and more and more liquidations, more forced selling, cascading effect. It could drive through that quite easily. And then once we're above 110 and beyond, who knows? Where will we land? Well, some people have guessed. Yesterday, I covered someone that thinks that we're going to go to 140,000. This person thinks we're going to go to 135,000 according to Fibonacci levels. I mean, you know what? It's pretty close. That may be the next stop before we take a breather. All right? Doesn't mean that we're just going to go up straight to the moon. But every cycle, you make these new legs. You take a little breather, and then you make a new leg, and we keep on going. We are still in the bull cycle. It's not over. I've said that before. It's nowhere close to being over. That's why we continue to hold on DCA and load up. And I showed this before multiple times, how Bitcoin tracks the global M2 money supply. And there you go. Bitcoin started coming up. Bitcoin and this global M2 supply, there's about like a 12-week, or you could say 90-day lag, and now it's starting to catch up like clockwork. And if this continues, guess where Bitcoin's going to end up? If you look at this, it's going to end up right around that 135, 140 mark. It's all aligning perfectly. So you better hold on, or you better strap on, I should say. Even Standard Chartered, again, a reminder, this is from a global bank, a huge global bank. This is not just from some ex-influencer, okay, calling this. This is an analyst from, not just an analyst, head of digital asset research from one of the biggest global banks on the planet saying this. His original estimate for Bitcoin's price in this quarter was 120,000. Now he is apologizing because he thinks that estimate is too low. So he believes just this quarter alone, Bitcoin will be a lot higher than 120,000. And he believes by the end of the year, Bitcoin will be around 200, if not more. And the reason being, he's like, when it flows, it flows. And he's seeing the money flow into Bitcoin right now. This is fantastic. Fantastic stuff. This is what I've been telling you guys. You got to be in the game. You know, even when it's scary, even when there's blood in the streets, when it comes to Bitcoin, you got to be in the game. You got to think as if the dips, as if they are gifts, right? Dips are gifts. Because when we do recover, they do become gifts. DCAing works, right? And we will soon see an all-time high. And soon we will head to that next level. And we got so much going. This was reported yesterday. We got the second state in the United States that now has a Bitcoin reserve. We had New Hampshire first. Now we have Arizona. And they could put up to like 10% of their funds into Bitcoin. But who do we have next? Looks like Texas may be coming. So one after another, we are getting states to approve. And you know what? That's going to be huge. Big money will be flowing in. I mean, these are states. Of course, we have it on a national level. Other countries are going to follow. And this is in addition to the ETF inflows, the public trade companies, and all that. You guys know there are so much good stuff happening. And look at this too. Even the mayor of Vancouver, and I was just in Vancouver like a month ago. I really like Vancouver, by the way. Says it would be financially irresponsible for the city not to buy Bitcoin. So it's not just a U.S. thing. Bitcoin is non-sovereign. It's for the whole world. So you got cities or mayors and governors and you know, presidents and prime ministers and you know, CEOs, everyone now understanding the true nature and power of Bitcoin and more embracing it. It's really amazing. I've been around so many cycles and we've never had this kind of embracing or adoption. We only hope for these things in previous cycle. Now it's actually coming true. Even in the last cycle in 2021, we didn't have this kind of stuff happen. We wished we had countries or states or mayors or funds adopt Bitcoin. We talked about it. We talked about Bitcoin getting 100,000. We really fantasize about these things. Now, a cycle later, they really happen. Imagine what's going to happen in another cycle when Bitcoin possibly flips the market cap of gold. We've been talking about that forever. That may be coming in the next cycle.